Greetings, programs, and welcome to ArcNeo Reviews, where we're going to look at a bit of an interesting double feature. For anyone who doesn't know, the Cyberverse line has been basically retooling and re-releasing a lot of the figures. So, if you remember that Megatron, the Warrior Class Megatron I looked at a while back, they've basically re-released it with like some added details and a new double fusion cannon. You know, they're doing a lot of stuff like that. But interestingly enough, when it came to Starscream, who had this interesting thing, which this is the first thing we're going to look at today, because I realize I have not actually reviewed this mess. For him, they just completely made a new figure. Like, completely different. So, we will actually be looking at both versions of Warrior Class Starscream. So, I'm going to go ahead and start with the original one. This thing's kind of well known for how bad it was. And, yeah, it is pretty bad, to be honest. As well as, it hasn't even held up very well physically in the little bit of time I've had it. Well, you'll see that here in a little bit here. But jet mode is mostly serviceable, I guess. He's just hanging out there looking from between his thigh or his shins there. But, you know, at least they bothered to mold thrusters in the bottom of his feet and stuff. I have still seen worse Starscreams, but this is still bottom 5. This one is still pretty bad. So, transforming this guy, really simple, just like it is with all of the Cyberverse figures throughout the time. Come down here, unpeg the arms. Come here, unpeg the legs. Fold all of this up and out of the way. Fold the landing gear forward, and then bring this down. Then just bring the hips back into place, rotate it around, and then you're supposed to be able to use the wheel to hook onto that peg, but so far it's cooperating. Mine does not like to hold on here very well, so it takes, you know, minimal effort and touching to get this thing to just spring forward and go wherever it wants. But there you've got him in his robot mode, and the robot mode looks perfectly acceptable. I'm totally not going to dog how it looks. I am a fan of this design of Starscream. I do wish that he was one of the characters we were getting a Cyberverse Deluxe class for, though. I really do. But, the head can rotate very stiffly. Got in and out at the shoulder rotation. A little bit over 90 degrees at the elbow, which is actually kind of impressive. You sort of have waist articulation, though that's more for the gimmick that we'll get to here in a bit. Then, the legs can't really kick forward at all. Unless you move them as a unit. They are actually locked together. And then they can go out. No knees, no ankles, no nothing. So, this being one of the Cyberverse Warrior figures, he had a gimmick. Go ahead, unpeg this. Then you're actually supposed to, like, wind him up before you do this. And when you let him go, yeah, that happens. So, basically, these are going back here having just a seizure. And in theory, this very weakly springed section is popping out. I don't know that it actually does. But yeah, it's... I'm fine with the gimmick, but just like the Warrior Optimus that I actually launched the channel with, the gimmick just hampers what could have been a simple but acceptable figure. Because it's actually very top heavy, because there's a lot of weight just right here. And you can't really, you can pose his arms, but your only other option is to have him sit. So I get the gimmick's not as bad as people have made it out to be, but it is still pretty bad. Because there's like, they should put like some weights into the wing or something to at least make sure it comes out while he spins. All you really get is the wings kind of go like that. And it's just, it is pretty dumb, I'm not gonna lie. But it's acceptable. It's still not, you know, one of the better figures from the line. I would definitely say the Shockwave and Soundwave figures blow this thing out of the water. Most of the Warrior class figures I've messed with are better than this one, to be honest. But there are a couple that it is still better than. It's better than Optimus, and it's better than Windblade. So, and yes, we will look at Windblade actually here in a while. But anyway, moving on from this guy. Like I said, in the, I guess they're calling it Bumblebee Adventures, you know, Cyberverse stuff, they did actually give him a completely new figure. And, it's no less obvious on the robot. This guy, thankfully, only has like 4 steps. He is not trying to pretend to be a complex, you know, insane figure. But I do have to say, I love this design. This is a really cool design for Starscream. You know, definitely gives me like a Star Wars Episode 3, you know, a Jedi Starfighter feel going on to it. But, transforming this thing, super easy. Fold these up, they tab in, bring this up, stop it right there, fold down the legs. Done. And if you push on this, you activate the gimmick, which I just did, which is simply the missiles flip out. You know what? It's a better gimmick than the other one. Now, sadly, he did lose the outward arm articulation because of this gimmick. So all he can really do is basically the same articulation for the arms as the Ultra class we looked at a while back. Head can still rotate. It feels like it's on a ball joint, but I think it is just kind of a sloppy mushroom peg. They did at least bother to peg his paint his chest jets, I guess, or whatever those are, the turbines there, which is, you know, nice. They gave him some, you know, Decepticon symbols right there on his wings. He's actually got some leg articulation, really deep knee bend. You know, he can do the split, almost do the splits if you get his foot, you know, his hand out of the way. Wow, my tongue is working tonight. But, yeah, definitely an improvement over, this guy. And you can even see, like, they stepped up the paint on this guy. He's actually got the blue on his legs and feet. He's got the red on his shoulder. And actually, the color of base plastic they used for him, I would say, is better, too. So, overall, yeah. Neither of them are particularly great, but the new one is definitely better. And this design, I really want them to do, like, you know, a quality figure of. You know, give us a deluxe class version of that or something. You know, bring this design into the larger Transformers universe. because I'm loving. I'm getting that guy out of here before I keep knocking him over. I love the way it looks. Transformation, yes, is pathetically simple, but it works. And with some of the Cyberverse figures I've seen and dealt with, I can't even say that much normally. So the fact I can just sit here and go, yeah, he works. They actually painted things on both sides. Vastly superior figure. Definitely something a kid would have fun with. I enjoy him just because I like the design and it looks cool on my shelf. So, yeah. If you're going to get a Warrior Class Starscream, get this one. By far, get this one. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.